AITA for refusing to help my stepdad financially after my mom passed. Even though I'm well off, my stepdad never wanted anything to do with me and treated me like an unwanted guest in my own home. After my mom passed away due to cancer, he reached out to me and asked for help as he was in financial trouble. He insisted we are family and I should give him a hand. I don't feel like doing so, and now being called selfish. This is hard to write, but here goes. So I, 34F, lost my mom about a year ago. She had cancer, and watching her go through that was one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with. I loved her more than anything, and I still can't wrap my head around the fact she's gone. The grief has been unreal. Growing up, it was just me and her until I was 13 when she married my stepdad, Frank. From the start, Frank made it clear he didn't want anything to do with me. He wasn't outright abusive, but the man made my life hell in other ways. He treated me like I was an unwanted guest in my own home. He didn't want to hear me, see me, or be bothered by me in any way. He never spoke to me unless it was to give me orders. Once I hit 14, he pretty much turned me into the household maid. I had to clean everything, do all the cooking, take care of the yard, run errands, you name it. He'd sit in his chair, watch TV, and treat me like his own personal servant. If I didn't do things fast enough or to his liking, he'd criticize me, say things like, "You're so useless. No wonder your dad left." Yeah, real nice, right? My mom always defended him, saying he worked hard and was just tired. I loved her, but I'll never understand why she let him treat me like that. I moved out the second I turned 18 and barely looked back. Over the years, I've had next to no relationship with Frank. I only ever saw him because of my mom. Fast forward to a year ago when my mom passed, and now Frank's in serious financial trouble. Apparently, he didn't plan for shit, and they were barely scraping by. Now he's blowing up my phone, saying that since I'm doing well, I work in marketing and have done pretty well for myself, I should help him out with bills. He keeps talking about how I'm family, and my mom would want me to take care of him. Here's where I might be TA. I flat out told him no. I don't feel like I owe him anything. He made my life a nightmare, and he's only talking to me now because he wants something. I was nothing but an inconvenience to him growing up, and now he suddenly expects me to be the dutiful daughter and bail him out. I don't think so. But now he's calling me selfish and saying I'm dishonoring my mom's memory by abandoning him like this. I feel like he's trying to manipulate me, but then again, maybe I'm being too cold-hearted. He was married to my mom for 20 years, and I know she loved him. She would probably want me to help him, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Every time I think about giving him money, I get this anger inside me thinking about how he treated me when I was a kid. So, AITA for refusing to help out my stepdad financially, even though I can afford to? Or am I being justified in cutting him off after everything he put me through? Relevant comments. Commenter. NTA. You are not obligated to help someone who mistreated you, even if they were married to your mom. Commenter. Agreed. Frank treated OP terribly growing up, and now he's only reaching out because he's desperate. You are not obligated to help someone who actively made your life miserable. Commenter. I don't want to bash a deceased person, but her mom did not do well by her. I can't help but feel if she even did anything even minor for him, he'd show no damn appreciation toward her, and he probably would feel even more entitled. Update. Thank you to the people who took their time to share their thoughts and kind words to me. I know it was a mistake, and one enough to get annoyed about. TBH, I actually got over it kind of quickly because, well, I'm on vacation, and I am actually having fun. I also took the time to reflect our almost 2 years, and it really was a first, where he showed me some immaturity, so I noted to myself to have a deeper conversation when we get back. Not so good update, though. We were shopping, and the store has duty-free. Guess who forgot their passport? My boyfriend. I made a mocking joke, purposely sounding obnoxious. Oh, wow. How could you forget your passport? Can't use mine because I don't coddle dumb behaviors. And he was fuming. He stonewalled me the whole day, and I cried about it. Then I got so mad, so all in all, I put that $600 into use to stay at a hostel. It's a little dirty and lonely, so right now I'm fighting myself between sadness, anger, and regret, but I'm trying to prove a point to him. He hasn't texted me first, and I don't want to cave in either. We do have one booked attraction and a few eateries reserved, so IDK. I'm definitely reconsidering the relationship. Relevant comments. Commenter. Ugh, I have a brother like OP's BF. Not only does he not hold himself to the standards he unilaterally sets for others, but he goes absolutely ballistic with rage when anyone tries to either point this out or hold him to his own standard. We don't really talk anymore. Commenter. Traveling with someone is often make or break. I think we know which way this is going. How much longer have you got to go? Try to make it enjoyable for you. And remember, you can probably swap seats with someone on your way home. Commenter. I'd do my own thing for the rest of the vacation. Go sightseeing, go on tours, check out those eateries, etc. Don't let him ruin the entire trip for you. Maybe see if you can change return flights so you don't have to sit with him on the way home. OP. I forgot about the trip back home. I'll have to do a lot of thinking. I'm in between my emotions of, yes, I am a bad BH versus I'm sad and lonely. It's hard to enjoy this vacation alone since we spent months hyping it together. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I'm sad that I'm alone, but I'm also mad because he didn't reach out to me. I just want us to be okay again. Story 3. So crossed multiple lines and I took him back. He deceived me again. so my boyfriend and I have been together almost a year. A few months ago, I caught him flirting with other women on Instagram. He lied about multiple things throughout the relationship. I confirmed the truth by going through his phone after having a bad gut feeling he was lying. In the last month, I took him back on certain conditions. One was that he be completely honest and transparent moving forward. Another was that unfollowed and cut contact with the women he lied to me about or flirted with. There was one he outright crossed a line with. Other women he spoke to frequently that he said were just friends with no sexual history that he later admitted he had slept with. He outright told me before that he stopped talking to women he'd hooked up with, but admitted he lied, so that was part of the condition. Another condition was that he put "we're in a relationship" in Facebook. Seems like such a small and stupid request, but considering he used social media to flirt with other women, I thought it was the least he could do to prove he wasn't trying to hide me from them or the many other women he's friends with on there. He hasn't done the last request, so earlier tonight I asked why not. He said social media is stupid. He doesn't want people knowing his business and that it shouldn't matter. I reiterated that usually I wouldn't give two shits, but he begged and asked what he could do to possibly gain my trust back and make me feel at ease, and this was one other thing I could come up with. He stated he understood why I'd want that and that he agreed to do it. I'm about to give up my lease and move in with him, but he still has not done the last thing, so I brought it up tonight. Finally, after complaining how meaningless he thought it was, he did put "he's in a relationship with me." I asked him to show me it isn't set up so that only he and I could see it. He shows me, and it was in fact set up so that only him and I could see it. Then he also hid his friends list and following from me. To me, this meant he was full of shit and thought he could trick me into believing he did it so I'd back off. Instead of giving full transparency, he went back to hiding things from me. He told me I was mistaken and that he thought he said it to friends, being able to see it. He changed it when I asked, but WTF? How am I supposed to trust him ever again? I feel so stupid that I even gave him a chance at all to prove he wanted to earn my trust back. I told him this is what it will take for me to trust you and feel like I can be with you without having to monitor your behavior. It's been a damn month, and already he felt he could deceive me again. Now I'm back to facing reality, that he can never be trusted, that he is a shady liar who was willing to risk it all again. This man repeatedly tells me he is in love with me, wants to spend his life with me, marry me, have kids. I was ready to put it all on the line, and this is how he repays me. I feel so betrayed, but mostly I feel insanely stupid for thinking he meant any of it. Relevant comments. Commenter, your BF is a serial cheater and a liar. You became an enabler when you kept on taking him back. He won't change in the future, so don't move in with him. If you ever loved and respected yourself, dump him and move on. There are many good guys to choose from, so don't be stuck with a cheating liar who has no hope of changing. You are not young forever, so don't look back and move on. He has shown you repeatedly that he doesn't love and respect you. Now it's your turn to show him that you deserve better and move on. Commenter, never believe words, believe their actions. Keep your place and set your status to single. He doesn't deserve you. Story 4. AITA for refusing to lend money to a close friend who said she'd pay me back, but has a history of not repaying debts. So, I, 34F, have this friend, Aisha, 33F, and we've been super close for over 10 years. She's like a sister to me, and we've been through a lot together, but there's one major thing that's always been an issue between us: money. Aisha's terrible with it. For years, she's been borrowing money from me. Like small amounts at first, $20, $30 here and there, which I never really thought much of. But it eventually became hundreds of dollars, and the thing is, she almost never pays me back. There's always some excuse, or she just forgets. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because I knew she was struggling and I didn't want to make her feel worse. But the reality is, over time, it's added up to quite a bit. So last week she calls me out of nowhere, all panicked. Apparently her car broke down and she needs $500 to get it fixed. She says it's an emergency and promises she'll pay me back as soon as she gets her next paycheck. I'm sure it's true. Here's the thing though, she's made these promises before. The last time I lent her money, I didn't see a single dollar of it. And instead of paying me back, she ended up going to some concert with new clothes and everything. I didn't say anything at the time because I didn't want to start a fight, but it really stung. This time, I just felt like enough was enough. I told her I couldn't lend her the money. I brought up the fact that she still owes me from before, and I was really polite about it, just trying to be honest. But she got so upset. She started accusing me of not being a real friend, saying that I should just trust her, and that she's in a really bad situation right now. She called me cold-hearted and said I was being selfish for not helping her when she needs it most. Now I feel like crap. I don't want to be the bad guy, but at the same time, I feel like I've been taken advantage of so many times already. And I'm a single mom. It's not like I have tons of extra money lying around, you know? It just feels like a never-ending cycle with her. So, AITA for saying no this time? I honestly don't know anymore. Comment, NTA for refusing to lend Aisha money. It sounds like you've already been generous and supportive over the years, and it's perfectly reasonable to set boundaries, especially when there's a pattern of her not repaying debts. Lending money should be based on trust, and Aisha's track record gives you valid reasons to be hesitant. Her response, calling you selfish, seems like an attempt to guilt you rather than understanding your position. It's okay to prioritize your own financial stability, especially as a single mom, and you're not obligated to continue lending money if it's been a one-sided deal. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you liked our videos, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. Have a wonderful day. Story 2. New update. I, 28F, messed up at the airport and is sad with how my boyfriend, 28M, treated me. How can I manage the issue or my feelings? I tried to post through RA, but it didn't work. I, 28F, has been dating my boyfriend, 28M, for almost 2 years. We're traveling for the first time internationality. Long story, but you kinda need to know. I fumbled, and I fully acknowledge I am 1,000,000% at fault. I'm embarrassed. We were checking in for our flight, and I forgot my passport. I made a rash last-minute decision to switch my fanny pack, and I left my passport behind. I was so ashamed and apologetic. We live outside of the main city, so it'll take me an hour to get back, making 2-hour round trip, if I'm lucky with no traffic. So I wouldn't recover my passport in time. The moment I shared that I forgot, my boyfriend blew up. He was calling me stupid and forgetful, and TBH, I wasn't disagreeing. I was like, I know. I was so anxious and embarrassed with how he was scolding me in front of the flight attendant. She was giving me this look that I knew, but I stayed calm. The flight attendant was quick on helping me. She said I can catch tomorrow's flight and pay a $300 difference. I thought that was super reasonable, but my boyfriend was like, what about me? And I said he can go on ahead and I'll catch up a day later. Then he was ranting about how we are supposed to travel together, so then I suggested I'll also pay to change his flight with me. Then he complained that it's a waste of money, and we could have spent $600 on the trip if I wasn't so dumb. Money is not a problem, DW. I was holding it together because there was a lot of people in line behind us, and I wasn't trying to cause a scene. I probably apologized 100 times, and the flight attendant was even going out of her way to look for other flights from other places that may fly out same day. For the whole 20, 30 minutes, my BF was being so hard on me, and I know I derailed our plans, but I'm trying my best to fix it. He kept on sighing so hard and grunting. I was so stressed out. Suddenly, the flight attendant asked, can anyone bring your passport? I'll bring you to the priority line through TSA to help you. I'm like OMG. So I called my best friend and begged her to go to my place to bring my passport, and she came through. I love her so much. So, all good. No, I told my BF he can check in first and go inside, but he insisted in staying with me. As we proceeded to wait for my bestie to come, he kept scolding me. I know I fucked up. He kept saying, oh, your best friend better make it on time. How could you forget? If we miss this flight, IDK if I care to catch the next one. You're so stupid, etc. Honestly, I lost some of my lifespan waiting and praying my friend would come on time. Thankfully she did, and with the help of the same flight attendant, we made it though with 7 minutes before boarding. The moment I sat down on the flight and finally collected myself, I cried. But then my BF was being so affectionate. He was hugging me and patting my head and saying, we're okay, don't worry, we made it. I straight up told him I didn't appreciate the way he treated me earlier, and he's like, can't coddle dumb behaviors, which I'm like. He was really good at consoling and promised he'll buy dinner the moment we land. I thought I could forgive him, and I really want to enjoy our trip. We landed, and he's all happy and back to his loving self, but the situation at the airport is bothering me. Any advice? Like, I know I messed up pretty badly, so maybe I should just let it go because that was on me. I just wished he was nicer. How can I bring it up again without ruining the vibe, or should I wait till we finish traveling? Or just suck it up, BC, I was the one who caused it anyway.